Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. And I'm joined by the B in the bang. Bernard, how you doing, mate?
B in the bong, I think it is. B in the bong. Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah, Sunday morning, but work never stops one way or the other, does it, mate?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a shame we haven't got Mike on because he could be the D in the dong. Anyway, so but I see you're sporting. We're gonna have to talk shirts because hey, we're always wearing City shirts. So what are you wearing today, Bernard?
Well, I don't know how I got in this one, mate, because I'm not even sure whose it is. Obviously, we got. It could have been my lads. He wasn't big enough when this shirt was out, and I was trying to figure out. I wasn't at 38-40 chest, and literally, if I move, I'm in trouble. So I just thought, because of the new one, obviously, which is based on this, and I've just been doing a thing on Paul Molden, who obviously at that time. So these kits are around and about. So. Thought, sod it, I'll wear it. I'm sweating already.
What do you make of Paul Molden? Paul Molden, is he still the current world record holder for the most number of goals scored in a game?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still. I don't know if he's still in the Guinness Book of Records, but I doubt he's been beaten.
8 goals in a season. Yeah. And look, I've got some. These are my lads' Guinness World Records. I don't get them. When he gets a record,
it was 289 in the league and 340 in all competitions for Bolton Lads Club.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. I've got to say, my lads, these are my lads' world records on the wall. He pinned them up on the wall. I don't know why he did that. I mean, because he's not in the videos, but he's stuck them up behind me, so I can't be bothered to remove them. And this is my Leroy Sané shirt. And when I got it, it was nice, medium, fitted. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's just a little bit tight. I knew
one day, mate, because obviously that's hanging in the cupboard, and I could have easily picked that one. I mean, one day we might just clash and not know about it, so that'll be interesting.
We don't plan. It's like people going out on a night out, girls going out on a night out. We don't plan what we're going to wear. We just turn up, and I'm sure it'll happen. But I'll try and make sure it. And I'm wearing a lot of new stuff recently. I think, or the last 5 years. You're an old timer, Bernard. You've got a lot of
there's lots of years I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford replica shirts, tons of years, not just the odd year. And obviously now I find ways around it, even though I can't really afford it now either. But there you go.
Oh, here's a question before we move on to the topic of the day. What is your favourite City shirt?
Ever? Yeah, it has to be the old with the badge in the middle, the round badge, the typical one with the round collar. And the City badge, I think that in the early 70s probably my favourite ever. Obviously, the one without a badge on was fine, but obviously as soon as they put a badge on it and you had it right in the middle with no sponsor, obviously in those days, I think probably that one. I've got that in the cupboard somewhere over in the cupboard.
Original or a replica?
No, flipping heck, I've got none of the original ones, mate. They're all. I've got some pictures which you've probably seen over the years of me home and away kit, the red and black stripe and the sky blue one. But I never had one with the badge on originally. I couldn't afford that at that time. Flipping heck, I don't know where they got them from.
I remember years ago I give some away. Remember the charity thing that they were asking to give football shirts. Yeah. And they were sending them off. I remember giving some football shirts away to a couple of charities, one for Palestine. I think they were taking them over to the Gaza, and then one for South Africa. I think they were doing it. And I donated some City shirts, and it's like, I wish I hadn't. Yeah. I used to collect shirts from wherever. Go somewhere on holiday, get a shirt. Go to Ireland, get a shirt. Go to Dublin, get a my brother got me one from Oman or somewhere, and different places. So I get these and collect them. And then,
Mark McCarthy's poorly at the moment. Well, he's in hospital. He's okay.
Well soon.
Yeah, get well. But I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of him. I'll tell you one shirt I would have liked to have got last few years ago, about 5-6 years ago, where they did the under 25 years over it with the badge. And it was a special edition, wasn't it? It cost a fortune at the time. So if someone had said, "Oh, buy you that, Bernard," I would have bit their hands off, sort of thing.
Well, I've got one of them boxed. I've got a couple of things. We are digressing a little bit. I got that one boxed. I got a book from my favourite band boxed as well. I don't think have I even opened it to have a look what's inside the box. It could be a brick. For all I know, they never opened it. I've got a few things, and from years gone by, you probably don't remember this from the old Man City Fan TV days. I got many years ago when I had a bit of money and not some sense, but some nonsense as well. I bought 2 suits from you remember this? You don't remember, do you? I never even opened the packet. 2 suits from James Brown.
Leather Market.
Sorry?
James Brown Leather Market. That's all I remember.
You must know James Brown. Get off that thing. You must know James Brown, the singer. Soul singer.
Yeah, no, but there used to be an advert for James Brown Leather Markets back in the 70s, 80s or something, I remember.
I'll tell you what.
Old guys might know what I'm on about. Most people think
I've never opened them.
Gone now. I've got the dementia setting, I'm sorry.
I've got mine. I've got these James Brown suits, which my mistake was I love shades and I should have bought the James Brown sunglasses, but the price got expensive. But it was, I think, 30 pairs of sunglasses. And it got up to about £1,000. And I stepped out, but then I looked back afterwards and said, "That's only 30 quid a pair of sunglasses. It's not bad. It's not bad." Which is a lot, Anyway, we digress. We digress. We're here to talk about us as fans, and football fans. We're obviously talking about kits, and kits are bloody expensive now. We're talking about best part of 80, 90 quid for a kit. Your kid wants a full, kids these days, they don't just want a shirt, they want shorts and they want socks as well. And you could be I don't know what the full city kit is, but you're looking at, some people are saying 100 quid, some clubs are charging 125 quid for the lot, and it's crazy. And City, obviously, we've got the home kit, the away kit, the third kit. You can have during the season, you can have the training kits, you can have a walk-on kit, a commemorative kit. There's a treble kit which I bought. I'm waiting for that. That doesn't arrive till November, so I'm waiting for the treble kit to arrive. There's always 5 or 6, 7, 8 kits this season, and they know us Muggins fans will keep buying them. So we're going to talk about the downtrodden fans, and we are downtrodden. And the reason for this it's true. We are less. The thing is, COVID showed us when there was no fans there, we're needed. They need us for the atmosphere, because football matches without, you see sometimes the Celtic and Rangers games, they've got they've got no away fans now. Football matches like that are sterile for me. You need a little bit of banter. You need a little bit of back and forth between home and opposition fans. And we saw during the COVID times, no fans in the stadium, football wasn't the same. It wasn't, for me, as enjoyable. Hey, we did all right, but it wasn't as enjoyable. You didn't get that atmosphere, and that's what the fans create. That's what we bring to it, and that's what makes it special. I'll give you an example, and you can talk about it. Tell me about the atmosphere when we played Real Madrid in the Champions League. What was it like?
Yeah, very good, mate. I mean, I've been in a few good ones, so I'm a bit biased. It was fine. It was absolutely fine. It was obviously I've been in better, but yeah, nothing wrong with it. I mean, I think the Champions League this year, considering the amount of people who say the half and half scarves, the tourists that are obviously there, and obviously the Real Madrid cock up with the tickets, which there wasn't there, I believe, with selling the tickets as well, which meant people could literally join on the day and buy a ticket. So considering that, obviously the guys who were City fans, and it did help, of course, it was a brilliant game as well. I mean, obviously it fed off each other, didn't it? It fed into it. Each other. So absolutely superb. I mean, it was great to be there, but it's not the most goosebumpy atmosphere I've been in by a long way.
But I mean, one of my most goosebumpy is a good word. Atmospheres was against Liverpool. Was it 3rd of January? I can't remember. Where we beat them 2-1 in 2019. We needed to win to get back into the title, to be in that title.
Is that the Sane goal on?
Yeah, my Leroy Sane shirt. You can't see on the back. I will spin. My Leroy Sane shirt. But that was one of the most intense atmospheres I've witnessed being part of a football ground, because everything mattered, and it was those dirty Scousers, that we were beating, and the atmosphere was really tense because anybody could have won that. And then we went on a 14-game winning run to win the title. And Liverpool fans still cry about it, and I love it. But the fans make the atmosphere. Without this, would you watch football on the telly on a regular basis if there were no fans, or very few fans, or very little atmosphere?
Well, I'd watch City, of course. It doesn't complain. They play on off-end fields for me. It don't make any difference to me.
For me, it takes away something. So what we heard the other day was one of City's matches, one of the first few games, the time has been changed. Manchester City versus Newcastle is now 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. Now, there'll be some pros and cons for this. I'm just going to look at the cons because my glass is half empty today. The cons for that, it's not great for public transport, and you're basically forcing people. I mean, when the game finishes, it'll be 10 o'clock at night. I dare say there won't be many trains going back, Transpennine routes back up to Newcastle. So everybody will be, chucked. Either you're going to stay over or you're going to get chucked out onto the motorways, okay? And knowing the going up to the northeast with the A1, weekends, I think they do, and nights, they do like to close a few lanes to do some roadworks. So it's hard work to get back and forth. If you're a public transport person, if you haven't got a car, you're not going to come on a coach or a supporters bus or something. It's going to be hard work finishing at 10 o'clock at night. As we spoke earlier, I agree. It's better than having a game at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night because that's going to knack you for the week. But I just don't think it doesn't. If it was Man City versus Everton, I don't think that there's much of a fuss about it because that's doable, that's reasonable. If it's a local game, but when you're asking fans, I mean, Newcastle to Manchester, you're looking at two and a half hours. I do the trip up there from where I live, North Manchester, so it's a bit I'm a bit closer.
It's a short trip for them though, generally, compared to what they normally do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just don't think it's fair on them, and we'll get battered at some point. We'll get battered where we'll be sent down. I remember going to London for an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Monday night. What's all that about?
Well, I was at that Arsenal New Year's Day 12 o'clock kickoff where we had to leave New Year's morning about 2 a.m. in the morning to go down.
Well, you had to leave New Year's Eve to get there.
Yeah, but I was happy because as far as points are concerned, I wouldn't have got a ticket otherwise. But people said, "Oh, I'm not doing that." So it gave me a chance to visit the Emirates for the very first time. So I'm biased. That was a biased thing, but
my point is
that opportunity.
My point is it's not good for the fans. And then you're going to have the other thing that might be uncomfortable to some fans or people who are not fans. And I'm not having to go to the Geordie fan base. Okay, this can happen anywhere. Some of the fans are going to come down in the early afternoon and they're going to be drinking, possibly on the way down, and then all the way up to kickoff. So they're going to be, let's say, well-oiled by the time the game starts. And I don't think that's great. I'm not saying I reiterate because I don't want any trouble. I'm not saying the Geordie fans are going to cause trouble, but I just don't think it's a good idea to have late kickoffs and fans traveling such distances who some of them will make a night of it, which is fine, but some of them are going to be there drinking all day. And I just think you're asking for some, let's say, antisocial behaviour. What do you think? Are you bothered? If it's on your doorstep, if you were living nearby, I think it's an issue.
Yeah, it's certainly on the basis of Newcastle, it wouldn't worry me because you're going to get those elements whatever happens. Yeah. It's not a big problem these days at most Premier League grounds as it used to be, of course. High-profile City United, Liverpool United, Liverpool City, that sort of thing. And Arsenal, Tottenham, from what I've seen on the social media a few days back, some of the stuff that went on in a couple of meetings they had this season. But it doesn't worry for this particular game, not particularly, no.
No, but I'm saying in general. Yeah. I don't think it's a good idea to have.
It's not a good idea for lads to be on the booze all day. But hey, look at the City fans in Istanbul. You know how to behave. There might have been the odd idiot, as there always is, but generally well behaved, and that's how it should be.
I think if there were two English teams in Istanbul, there'd have been a bit of bother. But I think with Inter, I think they had fewer fans, and it was.
Yeah, they were calculating. It's organisation. That part of it was quite good because they were in different parts of the city generally anyway, so that was fine.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen with the Community Shield, a lot of people, I think I was working that day. That's what date was that? The 6th of August, the Community Shield. I do believe, I'm just going to have a quick look. But
this season?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
6th of August is... does that sound right? 6th of August? That's Sunday, the 6th of August. Because the league season starts on the 11th away at Burnley, which I don't mind on a Friday night, 8 o'clock or whatever. Burnley, it's less than an hour from Manchester. It's not too bad. That's, I think, reasonable. And I think it's a really prestigious game. Burnley back in the big time against the treble winners Man City Friday night. That sounds right to me, and it's not too far away. And people have been working that day, so they're not going to be on the beers all day. So I think that's a reasonable one. It's not a big distance. But the Community Shield's on the 6th. I couldn't go. I'm working in Scotland that day. I'm on a theatre tour, so I can't make that, which I would have gone otherwise. But originally they put it at 5:30 kickoff, which, you know, by the time the game finishes and everything, where Wembley is and everything, people wouldn't be getting trains back. And it's a lot of bother. It's a Sunday night. Basically on a Sunday. And what do you do? Do you stay over, suffer on a Monday getting back? That was a pain. They've changed it through a lot of fan protests to 4 p.m., which is a little bit better. It gives you a chance to get fit. I don't think it makes that much difference. And, give credit to the MCFC, the food bank, who said, and the 1894 group who said, we're going to have the screening at the Band in the Wall. Come here to watch it and pay, instead of buying a ticket, pay the money to charity, pay to the food bank. I think that's a great idea. And until the powers that be realise that they do need us, then they'll just keep walking all over us. And they do need us, even though, look at someone like City. We talk about finances. We're looking at about £700 million turnover plus this year in our next set of accounts. And I reckon we wouldn't get more than £60 million on a match day income, as in through the turnstile and on food and stuff. So less than 10% of our income is coming from us fans going to games.
Yeah, I mean, they are saying with this extension of the North Stand that it may increase income to about 80 million, aren't they, per game? So
not per game. 80 million per season, not per game. Yeah. I do that.
I'm just saying. So you're right probably right on the 60 million, because that's a hell of an increase anyway.
Normally it's 55. We lost.
It'd be lovely if it was 80 per game, wouldn't it? I mean, we would be boiling some, wouldn't we?
I do that. I did the other day, and you record it and then you play it out, and then you think, I said season instead of game, or I mentioned the wrong club. Or
I put little quotes on the screen when I'm re-editing if I notice.
Bernard's bloopers. But so we're looking at about, so I think in the past we were about 55 million. What the club did, and this is obviously against the fans, we had a capacity of just over 55,000. They took 2,000 seats away. Okay, got it down to 53,000. And what do they do with those 2,000 seats? They put these new electronics advertising in, because that makes more money than those 2,000 fans does. So we might get up to. I think
we weren't having trouble filling them. Let's be honest about it. When they were there, 50. We did. There was a lot of. I was looking around at many games, thinking, not last season. I thought last season was very, very good, but other seasons, yes.
No. But the thing is, people who pay for those tickets. Like I missed games. I paid for a ticket, and I didn't turn up at a game.
Oh yeah. And it wasn't any particular section. It was always different things. You know what I mean?
The tickets had been sold. I think last season was different because you've got 2,000 fewer tickets, so there's more likelihood that it's going to be cramped. And I think we were on average for our home games last season about 200 short capacity, which is fine.
Yeah, and you allow for segregation and stuff as well, and the away fans not selling their allocation as well.
That's exactly it. People say, "Oh well, you're 200 short," but hang on. If a team's got 3,000 tickets and only 1,000 people turn up, that's 2,000 tickets short. Okay, and you think, well, that's nothing. But over a 30-game season, 2,000, that's 60 tickets per game. On average for the season. So you have 3 games like that, you're 200 tickets short overall. So it's City fans, we're selling out. We're selling out home games. There's no question about that. We sell out home games on the Champions League games for dead rubbers. We're selling out. So we must be doing, the fans out there. You're right, it's your opposition fans where we've got the issue. So, but they reduce the capacity. Now they're going to increase it again. And we will go over the 60 million mark, because they'll be, obviously they put the prices up. Thank you, City. Put the prices up a little bit, and there'll be more corporate stuff. So maybe in a few years we'll be getting up to 80 million pounds, but by then our turnover will be 800 million. So it'll still be 8 to 10%. So financially, we are not providing them that much in terms of the overall big picture. But we're still an important element. As I said, atmosphere is created by us, the fans. But we've seen it time and time again where City gets the final of the Champions League, And the teams get 20,000 tickets each. Same on the FA Cup. I mean, West Ham fans, was it 3,000 or 4,000 tickets they had for the Europa Conference League?
Ridiculous. Was it the stadium? Was it 20,000, something like that?
They could have sold 30,000 tickets to West Ham fans.
Yeah.
You know, there were tens of thousands of West Ham fans at that game who were just in the city for the fun. Was it Prague? Just for the fun of it, or wherever it was. They were there for the fun of it. And it's just not fair that I'm having a rant here, but it's not fair that the fans are pushed down, you know, the ladder. Fans with money, fans with big money, yes, they're welcome. You know, you can pay £10,000 for a box or something, or, you know, £10,000 for a game for your tunnel club or whatever. Yes, you're welcome with open arms. You know, when I inquired about that a few years ago, they didn't stop badgering me. When I had a complaint about something minor, or they never bothered to talk to me. But I'd have people calling me up, people getting emails to say, you know, would you like some tunnel club? And it got to the stage where I said, please don't contact me anymore, because they were just doing it so much. But when you got a complaint, they're never as keen to deal with that. What a surprise. So that's my bit of a rant. I just don't think the fans get a fair deal out of this. And as we've seen with the kickoff times, you know, as I said, we've been pushed way down the list. Premier League takeover, you know, they're so powerful now. The FA have given the rights to the FA Cup to selling the rights to the Premier League, because the Premier League do a better job at selling the rights. But we've seen the FA Cup being messed around with as well. We're going to end up with no replays, which is a lifeline for some smaller clubs, you know, and messing about with that, which is a real shame. But in summary, finally in conclusion, I don't see it changing. You know, fan power can only go so far. And the problem is, you might have thousands of fans who won't go to a game. If we boycotted a game, the thing is, you'd get other fans. You'd get newer fans coming in to take our places. You'll get fans who are coming, you know, it might be their only time to come and see City, and they're not going to turn down that opportunity, even if other fans say, please boycott the game. So
I don't think we can say that for the Community Shield.
But the thing is, the last thing I'm going to say on this is the clubs and the Premier League and FA and everything else, and it's the leagues all around the world, they rely on the fact, once you start supporting a club, you're hooked for life. You're going to stick it out, and you'll pay that extra money on the season card. If you buy shirts, you'll pay that little extra. They know, you know, you could argue wear mugs, you know, but they know that. It's not as if my bank's doing me wrong, I'm going to switch banks. You support City, that's it. You support whoever you support, you ain't going to change. And it's life. And they're going to keep making mugs out of us until and unless we all get together. And that's never, ever going to happen. Thanks, guys, for watching this video, especially if you stayed all the way to the end after those two guys blathering on. It'd be great if you could subscribe. Thanks to Bernard, Colin, and Mike of recent times. We've got tons of new subscribers. You know, I think I said the other day about 30% increase in our subscribers in the space of a month. That's ridiculous for any channel, however big or small. And it's thanks to you guys. You've made that happen. And if you are new, please, if you can subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, please.